Hello, welcome back to True Seekers Tea. My name is Kate, and I'm thankful as always to have you here for today's pick a card reading. We are going to be just doing a check-in in regards to the person on your mind's thoughts and feelings towards you. We will be starting off with an energy check-in that is going to look at your perspective of this person and the connection. So hopefully you can feel more confident that you picked the right pile and that the messages are for you. So there are 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Moonchild Tarot with this clear quartz heart. For pile number 2, we have the Dreamy Moons Tarot with this orange calcite raw crystal. And for pile number 3, we have the Guardian of the Night Tarot with this black obsidian point. So take whatever time you need to tune into the pile that you're feeling the most drawn to. Again, there will be an energy check-in, so I would just use that to see whether or not you want to listen to that pile or check out a different one. There will be an extended reading for each pile that is going to be different. The topic, it'll just be based on what comes through in your reading and what seems most helpful for you guys to go into deeper. So if you really feel like it resonates, I will have that link down below along with the timestamps, the names of these decks in case you guys are interested in any other information about me. So thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Moonchild Tarot and this clear quartz heart, this is going to be a reading where we're just going to be checking in and seeing what the person on your mind's current thoughts and feelings are toward you. So we're going to start off with an energy check-in to see what your current perspective is of this person and this connection. And that's really meant to just mirror back to you, ideally your own self, so you can feel more confident as to whether or not this is a reading that's for you. Okay, Spirit, what is pile number 1's current experience and perspective of this person and a connection? Okay, we have the 3 of Pentacles with the Empress. We have the 7 of Wands in reverse and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so it's coming through that this seems like a positive energy or something that is maybe pushing you out of your comfort zone. I feel like you've likely been doing a lot of work on yourself, and I feel like there's a very evolved energy coming through. However, maybe you've had to do a lot of this journey alone, and because of that, or not even that you've had to do a lot of it alone, that's may also be true, but it's like the journey towards self-love and the journey toward the Empress usually involves overcoming adversity and situations that mirror back to you not your worth. And so oftentimes to get to that state where you're truly embodying your true value and you're in touch with that, oftentimes you've been through a lot of situations that did the opposite. And because of that, you learn how to guard yourself against that kind of an energy. But I feel like you're in a situation now where there may be someone that you're wanting to trust, is how I feel. But there's an energy of needing to put your guard down, or learning how to put your guard down, especially with the 4 of Pentacles here. It's like that can be you protecting your heart space, but it's like you're learning how to trust in other people and be willing to be receptive to those that do really honor you. Can we clarify, please, the 3 of Pentacles? We have the Six of Cups in reverse with the Two of Wands. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of you are leaving the past behind. And you're in this journey of no longer allowing the past to define your future. And it's like you're shedding the layers of the past and the baggage of it in order to be able to move forward into a new timeline, is what I'd want to say. We have the High Priestess in reverse. I feel like your attachment to your old self, or you know how I was saying that because of what you've been through in the past, it can make it harder for you to recognize what is your true intuition versus what you're doing because you're afraid or you're trying to protect yourself. And so I feel like you're in this process of bringing your intuition back online so you're not seeing through the lens of the past. I feel like the more that, not the more, but you're in this process of understanding that attachment and holding on to the past is something that blocks your intuition in the here and now. And it's like you're learning to listen to yourself again. And I want to see how this relates. I don't know why it's coming through so strongly about you, but I just want to channel what's coming through. So if this sounds like your energy, I would say this is your pile. Sorry that it's not going so deeply into your person yet, but we'll see how that comes through. Can we clarify the Seven of Wands in reverse? We have the Tower. So it's possible that this is someone... It's not clear to me yet whether or not the person we're going to be reading into is someone that's a part of your new timeline, or if you're still wondering about something from your past that's blocking your intuition. It could be that that's who we're going to be talking about, is something from the past, something that you're trying to move on from. And I feel like it may be a big piece in reclaiming your sense of self-worth with the Empress. But yeah, I just feel like with the Tower here, I feel like you may be afraid that if you put your guard down in new situations, you're going to be met with a tower moment, or it's like you're afraid to trust in something. You're afraid to trust that you're building something that's you can rely on. And it's because of this past energy. Can we clarify the Four of Pentacles? We have the King of Swords and the Six of Pentacles here at the back of the deck. You may be very used to imbalanced connections, or it may be hard for you to receive. Because maybe you've been in situations where you've met a lot of takers, people who didn't pour into you. And so it just feels like you're locked into a very logical state of mind that's served you because you've needed to be discerning and you've needed to see things logically. Like, that has served you. But I feel like at this point now, your intuition is coming second to your logic. And it's like maybe you've embodied a phase of being more logical because that was what was right for you at the time, especially in souls or people that are naturally very sensitive and empathetic. It's like you can come into this world being a little bit too open, and too compassionate and too accepting of things, and too almost you become then susceptible though to more harmful energies or people that don't have your best interest in mind. And it's almost like there can be a process of needing to learn how to balance out that empathetic sort of feminine nature with the masculine. And so I feel like for a time period, that was what brought you more balance in your life. But it's like in life, we can sometimes have a hard time realizing when the what thing that once served us is now potentially being what's our blockage. So it's like I'm seeing temperance here, where you may have gone sort of far on one side, and you've been in this energy of discernment and self-preservation and protection, which again was helpful for you to embody that. But now you're being asked to return to more of your feminine side, more of your feeling energy. And that might be scary for you just because you have memory of that energy being something that led you to potentially be like taken advantage of or hurt. So I just want to ask Spirit then, who are we going to be talking about in this reading? Okay, we have Judgment in reverse. We get one more. 7. Okay, so we're going to be talking about someone that you're still needing to see the truth about. I feel like this is someone where it's like you've had a hard time maybe closing out a cycle with them. I feel like you're meant to see through any confusion, like you're coming out of a time period of confusion. So I feel that this is someone that is essential to you being able to move forward and trust in people again. But it's almost like you have to see through this and see something for what it was. So this may be something, we'll see. We'll honestly see as we get into it. But I think the most important thing is that first part of the reading did sound like what you're going through. And honestly, I know my channel focuses on love readings, but on a deeper level, I think I like to use this channel as a way to help you see certain things for what they are, so you can actually be more free and less attached to certain people, and to further enable the journey that you're on. And I just think relationships tend to be really helpful mirrors to our own journey, and they can teach us about ourselves. Okay, so pile number 1's person. What are their current thoughts and feelings? Eight of Pentacles. Okay, I have to cover this. Justice in reverse, which is Libra. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse with the Ten of Cups. And so again, I feel like this could be someone who's newer for you, because I'm kind of sensing two energies for you. So I feel like a lot of you might be in an in-between state right now, where you're leaving one chapter behind and going into a new one. And it's like there's a person that's attached to your old chapter that is still in your energy field, but it feels like there is also someone new in your energy field that you've either met or you are in the journey to meeting. So yeah, sorry if that's confusing, but let's see. So can we clarify the Eight of Pentacles? We have the Universe, which is the World in reverse. Can we clarify Justice? the Seven of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the Ace of Cups? We have the Tower. Can we clarify the Four of Pentacles? We have shadow work in reverse, and then the Four of Cups in reverse. Okay. So regardless of who this person is, I'll just tell you the storyline that's coming through. So this is someone who's having a realization of what you are offering them. I feel like this may be someone that previously rejected you, or didn't see you for what you were. They didn't see you fully. And I feel like that was because of their own energy and their own lens. But I feel like this person is having an awakening where they're realizing the repercussions of their actions. They're recognizing that they're in a time period of seeing, it's like that energy of when negative karma happens to you and it kind of humbles you and forces you to see certain mistakes that you didn't see before. And it's like only sometimes through going through karma and making mistakes are you able to see where you were not aware in the past. And I feel like there's this moment that they're having of a huge wake-up call of what was being offered. Like the Ace of Cups, this person is recognizing what you really were offering them, or what you are offering them. And they were too they were very guarded toward you. And it's like they're recognizing that because they were so stuck in a certain lens or comfort zone, they couldn't see how stepping outside of that would actually be the key to their true happiness. And I feel that they've been doing shadow work that's led to tower moments and realizations that brought certain ideas or the way that this person was seeing life, like their ego. It's like they're recognizing that they were seeing through a lens that was distorted and whatever, and that just like came crumbling down. And it's like they're seeing certain things for what they are. And they recognize that they've made a wrong decision. With the universe in reverse, they're at a place where they realize that whatever way they've been operating or whatever decisions that they've been making, they're seeing the lack of success in that. They're seeing the lack of closure. They're seeing how what they thought was going to lead them to happiness didn't. And so it's causing them to look at you again and see you for what you are. And in that process, it's like simultaneously what they wanted has become hollow. They recognize the hollowness of what they prioritize over you, of what they picked over you. Because it's like they were so attached to one way, or they were so attached to what they thought would bring them success or happiness, that they weren't able to see what really would have brought them success and happiness. There's a message coming through that I feel like a part of your confusion throughout your life is that you are someone who naturally sees the truth in people, and it's like you're able to see past certain masks, and that's what makes you so compassionate, and that's what allows you to love people. And it's like, even when there might be a lot of people around you that are like, I don't get what you see in that person, like you're someone who sees the potential, you see the soul of a person, even if they don't see it themselves. And I feel like that's what happened here. And I feel like this may have been a situation where I think you really just wanted to help this person. I feel like you really just wanted to, I feel that you had just love for this person, and you weren't doing it for any reason that was egoic. It was very pure. But I feel like the way that this situation turned out with them may have gotten you to question your intuition or question the way that you're operating. But I feel like what you need to hear is that sometimes it's like you don't realize that you are serving your purpose, like that you are miraculously, like what you're doing impacts people so deeply. And it's sometimes you don't get to see the fruit of your labor, is what I'd want to say. And what Spirit wants you to know is to not get caught up in how things turn out on the 3D or the physical. They want you to stay true to your intuition and not doubt yourself. So if you felt a deep connection and love for this person, what you perceived was real, but also what happens externally or the layers of ego of this person also is real on the level of form. And so sometimes there's this illusion that maybe what you were perceiving wasn't real, or that your intuition was wrong. But no, your soul was led to this person and you did have a soul contract with them. But sometimes our self or our ego wants, it's like we have an idea of what we're going into a situation for. Like, for example, you might feel this strong intuition for someone and your ego might go, wow, this must be like the love of my life. And then you start projecting onto it like this is going to be a relationship and it's going to turn into this. But your soul doesn't care about those things. And your soul, when your soul is in the driver's seat, which is something that you're learning to embody more confidently, it is very detached. Like you can learn to, the power is in trusting your intuition and doing what your soul is called to do without attachment to results. And that is what you're learning here, is to recognize that all the times in the past where you did the thing that your soul wanted you to do, but it may have been, people may have been triggered by it, people may have mistreated you, people didn't honor that. That never meant though that you were invalid or that what you're doing wasn't powerful. And it's like you've been doing your soul's work so beautifully, but because the world doesn't always mirror it back, we can start to feel confused about the validity of it and our value and our worth. Because just because we are seeing into, just because we are coming from a very loving space and a very compassionate space for others, they may not be in tune with that space within themselves. And if they're not in tune with that space within themselves, they can't connect to that part of you. And that's what's coming down. That's really what's happening in this journey to understanding yourself as the Empress, understanding yourself as this very worthy person. It's about detaching. It's not about the external, even if the external world mirrored back to you a ton of love and admiration, if you weren't connected to that place inside of yourself, it would just be sort of hollow. And so it's you're learning that what you embody internally is the most real thing that there is, and it's more powerful than any external validation of that. And it's not to say that you're never going to receive. It's actually you will in fact receive what you deserve, but sometimes we're on this karmic journey of through certain experiences where people don't understand or don't ever validate like what you felt. And like this, I feel like comes up most commonly. Like, and I feel like the experience of where you know someone is a soulmate to you, or you feel such a deep connection, but it just doesn't work out, or you trigger them, or, you know, like all these things happen. And it's just like, it's hard to understand how the other person doesn't see the connection like you do. But that's just because you are the high priestess. You're embodying that energy. And that's kind of a burden that comes with it, is seeing what's true when the world, when the truth is distorted in the 3D. But doesn't mean that your truth was wrong. And I feel that you just are meant to see this clearly, so you don't get attached to, you don't start losing that connection with your inner space, that connection with your intuition and your loving energy, like embodying the energy of love. I think what can happen when we get attached to situations where we felt that way towards someone, but it deeply didn't come into form, we can then get fixated on bringing that into form to feel that our love was valid. And I feel that you're learning how to validate that love without needing it to be, or it's not that you don't need it, it's just that you see it for what it is. You see that this person not being able to reflect it back to you does not have any, does not shed any truth as to what it really was for you and what it was in reality, actually. I hope that makes sense. And so I'm trying to say that you're learning a lesson of being able to more quickly flow through situations. You're learning to not internalize the external. You're learning to not let what happens on the external make you question your truth or change the way you're operating. And you're learning to not believe other people's reality over your own, or the external reality over your internal truth. And so getting back to the reading, sorry, that was kind of a long sort of situation, I guess. But, and I feel like a lot of what we're talking about has a lot to do with just trusting in the divine as well, and trusting in the divine plan, and just realizing that our ego and logic can't actually understand what something was meant to do, if that makes sense. Like sometimes you have been very successful, you have been very impactful, and you've done exactly what you were supposed to do, but it's like we just don't get it sometimes logically. Like it doesn't make sense to us because we don't know the divine plan. So anyways, what's going on with this person is that you came into their reality and they were not able to see you fully. They were not able to feel you and the connection fully. But they did nonetheless, it was there, if that makes sense. So the connection you feel to people where you felt that it's very strong is actually the reality of it. You're just perceiving reality more clearly. But other people have so many layers of attachment to their ego, is what I'd want to say, that it distorts connection. It distorts the truth. And so I feel that that's what happened here. And only when this person went down the path that they were already going, through that falling apart, then they turn back, because that collapsed. So it's like finally, so I'm trying to put this into words what it's like, but it's like, imagine that there was this connection between the two of you, but on top of, and you're perceiving it because there's a thinner layer of ego here. Like there's no conditions for you. So a lot of people won't think, a lot of people are so stuck in the idea of what form love is going to come in, or they're so attached. There's certain conditions where they feel they can only open their heart in those conditions. But when you're someone who's more unconditional, where you don't understand why or how, but just you feel such a deep resonance with the person, and it doesn't matter what they look like, it doesn't matter, you know, it's like, it's undeniable. And like the less attached you are to a certain form, the more you can perceive that. But then if you meet someone who has a lot more conditions, like this person already has a very strong idea of what they're trying to manifest, their ego, they're very attached to their ego's plan. So when something comes in that actually truly they do feel the love that they're trying to create via their ego's plan, that's distorting it. And so that's distorting their clear view of the connection with you. So when this person takes action, they stay true to their ego's plan, they may feel somewhere inside of them the connection, but because it doesn't make sense to their logical mind, it can be still like very hard for them to let go of what their ego's plan still was. So I feel like this person was very attached. They're working towards something. They were very dedicated to something, holding on very tight to some kind of a pursuit of something. It doesn't even matter what it is, but it was enough though to block them from seeing the truth of the connection with you and what it could have been and the potential. But then once they lived out that situation and it didn't bring the fruit that they wanted, that cracks away. And it's almost like only through when you crack open like that, through experiencing reality, I guess, like experiencing the truth of something, like you see clear as day. Like sometimes people have to live out their ego's desires in order to let them go. It's that energy of thinking you want something and working towards it and then getting it, and it isn't what you thought it would be energetically. It doesn't actually bring you the happiness you wanted. It's like something like that happened with this person, and they now are seeing you more clearly. They are seeing the connection with you, what it really was, the abundance that was being offered. And they're also getting a lot of insight into, they're having like an awakening, like a level of a spiritual awakening, or they're at least seeing their ego more clearly, because it's almost like it humbles you when you realize how you messed up like that, how you didn't see the value in something. And I feel like we've all had that experience where maybe we were just very attached to something. It's almost like you're attached to something more superficial or just ego based. And so when something comes in a different form, you really aren't able to compute it. You aren't able to see it for what it is. All right, can we clarify pile number one's person's thoughts and feelings? Yeah, we have message in a bottle, milk and honey. They feel like they really missed, serendipity at the back of the deck. They're having a realization of how they missed the signs, how they missed what they were being given with milk and honey. It's like they went chasing something when it was already being offered to them. And so the way they feel about you is they're having a heart awakening to just how special you are and just how happy you actually make them and how much love they actually feel for you and what beauty you actually could bring into their life if they had only been receptive to what was right in front of them, to what they were being shown, what they were being led to. Yang energy in reverse. And so they're realizing that, and then building blocks in reverse here. They're coming to see that because they were so attached to something, they were so invested in like go, 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 pushing for something. They were in a distorted masculine energy where they were too attached to something, too focused and fixated. They had too much tunnel vision. They had such a strong tunnel vision on something in their life. And so this could be different for everyone. Like it could be a certain job they wanted, a certain status. They maybe wanted a certain reputation. They wanted a certain relationship. They wanted something in the 3D that they decided would make them happy. But what they didn't realize is that by being so focused on that, they couldn't see when something beautiful was being offered to them, that they didn't need to like push like that. And it's like, even if something was not satisfying them, they kept pushing through it. They kept going and going and going. It's like they weren't surrendering. Anything else for their thoughts and feelings? We have poised here. And then, observer in reverse. So I feel overall that I feel like this person is realizing that they may have also felt like they wouldn't be worthy. Like they may have been chasing their confidence, or it's almost like they felt like in order to feel confident and worthy of abundance, or this milk and honey energy, this reward energy, they felt like in order to receive, they needed to achieve something. And they didn't realize that, or what they're realizing now is that it's like they've been chasing wanting to feel confident and wanting to feel like good about themselves, wanting to feel worthy. And they're realizing that has to come from within anyways, that there's no way to get it externally. That actually their chase towards this thing was a reflection of their own inner lack of recognition of self-confidence and self-esteem and worth. And the observer is in reverse here because, we have time to go. Because they were in tunnel vision. They were so, they were so invested and attached to the situation that they were in that they weren't able to get a broader perspective of it. And it's like they got so caught up in something that only until it crashed and burned are they able to see what they've been doing and what they were missing. And I feel like if anything, they're realizing that if they just had been receptive to you, that was all they needed. Like they realized it was being given to them. But they were so fixated on achieving this inner feeling of self-esteem through ego identity projecting out certain experiences or goals that we think are going to give us the internal feeling of something. And so they're just recognizing that they've kind of been on a wild goose chase. They've been working so hard on something that never was built in truth, that was always going to crumble. And it's like there can be temporary success where on a certain surface level, actually, here's the thing about chasing things in the 3D is that we can actually experience a boost in confidence. So let's say, for example, you get a certain job that you've always felt would make you feel better about yourself. So when you may get that job and you do feel good about yourself, but then you realize what it comes with, then you're attached to the form of that job. It's like, that means that you have this conditional self-confidence where it's like, only if you have that thing are you confident. And then oftentimes we go through this very painful situation where we lose that. And it's just like this cycle of realizing that it's always going to be futile to try to have your happiness come from the external or come from anything that, it's like it's conditional then, if that makes sense. And so I feel like this person either chased something that maybe temporarily made them feel good, but then they realized that they sacrificed a lot of other things to get there, and eventually they get unhappy anyways, or what they chased crumbled and they're back to square one. So it's something like that either way, but you've taught them a lot. Or I don't even want to say you taught them a lot, but you played such an important role in their divine unfoldment is what I would say. So for the extended reading, I want to look at if this person is planning, I want to see like what their current intentions are towards you. I want to see if this person plans on reaching out to you or taking action towards you. I want to hear what they would say to you as well, like what they would want you to know after having this clarity. And then we'll just get you guidance on anything else you need to hear in regards to this connection. So I do want to leave you off with some guidance, if I can find my Animal Oracle deck right here, before I just let you guys go. All right, is there any just overall guidance either on this connection or in general for pile number 1? Could we please get finishing guidance for pile number 1? We have bring a gentle touch, tend to the small things, trust in the magic. We have now is a lucky time. We have watch your words here. So, interesting. I feel like there is a message coming through of being careful to, okay, so I feel like maybe this person triggers you, maybe more into your shadow self, because when they don't mirror back the love that you freely give, maybe you feel a sense of frustration toward them, and it might bring up sort of a more like frustrated or angry side of you. And so I just feel like Spirit's saying to be careful about what you say to this person. Make sure that, be careful of, put this into words. I feel like Spirit's saying to not internalize any negative thoughts that this person's own lack of connection to spirit and self. Don't take on that energy and internalize it, because I feel like there's a possibility that it may have made you feel discouraged, or made you question your own magic, or question the magic of the world, or question if like the universe is against you, or if you're doing something wrong. Spirit's saying that's definitely not what's happening. So I just feel like there's a need to make sure that you don't internalize anything negative about yourself just because of this person's own level of awareness. I want to see what tend to the small things is about. Okay, it says, are you too caught up in details, micromanaging others, and stressing out because you want everything to be perfect? Are you procrastinating just because you want every detail to be just right and losing track of time and your priorities? Mouse Spirit wants you to listen to your intuition that tells you that the detail you fear you're overlooking will only appear when you stop obsessing. Mouse Spirit will lead you to the nuances you need to notice and will diligently work to support you if you take a breath and trust that guidance will be provided. Small gestures carry out great power right now. Maybe you need to take action towards discovering what is going on that you may not be seeing, or toward mending a relationship or a situation. Ask a question, do a little research, and listen for Mouse Spirit's quiet little squeaking telling you, look here and attend to this detail. So yeah, I feel like if you're really overthinking this situation, I feel like Spirit's saying if you can take a break from your ego's response to this, or how you're like processing it mentally, I feel like you're going to know what to do next. And I feel like Spirit's almost just saying to make sure that the next thing you do comes from a place of inner balance, being internally balanced. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like be careful to not like drain yourself hyper fixating on this situation. Yeah, so I just feel like overall, I don't know if it's this person who is lacking diplomacy, because it says, Dear Spirit is bringing you a gentle warning that now is not the time to engage in an argument, no matter how volatile others are being. If you're dealing with an overly assertive person, step back and disengage lest you agree to something out of alignment with your intentions. Don't let anyone bully you into thinking into anything you're uncomfortable with. Have solid footing. If you stand your ground with grace, those who disagree will begin to find their own gentleness and willing to compromise. It says it might be easy to offend someone one day or take offense because someone lacks diplomacy. Don't take this world personally. While it's a beautiful gift to be sensitive, today you need a tougher hide so that any compromises you made allow you to maintain your integrity. Okay, so that's interesting. I feel like that really speaks about what I was kind of saying with not shifting your truth or not transforming your energy to match someone else's unconsciousness, and I feel like it's learning to not take other people's unconsciousness personally. And I feel like, well, I don't know if I'm not picking up, especially in this situation, of a lot of argumentative energy, but I feel like it's speaking more to like someone else's lack of consciousness and not accommodating that, not shifting yourself to match someone's level of unconsciousness. You're really being asked to stand in your truth no matter how other people are reacting to it. So I feel like if I said something like, I don't know, there might be a situation where it's possible that maybe sometimes when people are acting very unconscious to you, maybe you mirror that back to them, or maybe you internalize their unconsciousness. And so Spirit's saying either way to be careful to not do either of those. And also to take a break from situations where someone's very unconscious, because it's almost like there's kind of a message here coming through of, you know what it's like when you get into like an argument that isn't going anywhere, and it's like the best thing you can do is like not keep trying to explain yourself or keep trying to like go around and around and around. It's better to take a break from it and retune back into your intuition, and like then the thing you say you're going to be less susceptible to like reacting to another person's statement. It's like then you'll know, just like you'll get closure for yourself instead of needing to go round and round and round in a situation with someone where it's like you're just falling into their spiral of unconsciousness. So just to be careful of that. So anyways, if you guys found this reading helpful, if you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment. I'm seriously so appreciative to everyone who does that. It really helps my channel. So thank you. And if you want to see future pick a card readings, please subscribe. Don't forget to. Other than that, it's been an honor to read for you, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Dreamy Moons Tarot and this orange calcite raw crystal, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at your person's current thoughts and feelings towards you. So we are going to start off with an energy check-in, and this is going to be just so you guys feel more confident that you picked the right pile. So Spirit, for pile number 2, please tune me into their perspective of the person we're going to be talking about. Sorry, I just scoop in. All right, what is their perspective, please? We have the King of Swords in reverse. We have the Devil in reverse with Capricorn energy. How is pile number 2 viewing this connection, this person? Interesting. We have the Hierophant with the 8 of Swords. So, it's coming through something pretty specific, so I'll definitely clarify a little bit more as we go on, but I feel like this may be a situation that you might think is sort of toxic, or you may be feeling like afraid of being bound or stuck in something, or in some kind of contract commitment, maybe even marriage for some of you, or relationship. You maybe are feeling like it's very, like you have to follow some kind of, all right, sorry about that. Just kicked over my Starbucks. Okay, so the King of Swords in reverse definitely can be the energy of someone that's very, specific about what they believe and can be closed-minded, or like really sticks to the law, not the law, but like the rules. It's like they almost enjoy enforcing it. And so I'm just wondering if there's some sort of, it just feels like with the 8 of Swords and the Devil here in reverse, this may be an unhealthy situation that you're afraid to extract yourself from. But let's see if anything else comes through. All right. What else? What is pile number 2's perspective? Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles here, like, and this can talk about independence and, yes, being able to rely on yourself and be confident in being alone and being able to provide for yourself. Maybe that's an aspect here as well. Like maybe you feel stuck in something where you might have fears around what it would be like if you did move away. Can we clarify the King of Swords in reverse? Like this is a very uncompromising energy. We have the Magician. Can you clarify the Devil in reverse? We have the Ace of Cups. Can you clarify the Hierophant with the Eight of Swords? The Nine of, yeah, and this already peeked through. So I feel like this is a situation that's definitely stretching, or, okay, I don't know why I said stretching you out, but stressing you out. I feel like this is just for some of you, but this person may have been very good at being charming at first, or like this person is really good at like drawing people in and seeming charming and charismatic. And then it's almost making me feel like a situation where once you're looped into it, you realize how empty it is with the Ace of Cups in reverse, how it isn't a truly loving situation. Yeah. To clarify the Nine of Stars. For pile number 2's perspective. We have Taurus energy here as well. Or yeah. So we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Six of Stars. I feel like there may be some dependency here with the Star in reverse. I'm going to cover it just in case I have to. Aquarius energy. I feel like you're definitely... Okay, I just want to say I feel very defensive over you and very sad. If you are feeling trapped in a situation and you're feeling extremely afraid of what will happen if you walk away or what you might lose. And so I just feel the need to tell you that it's always worth it to walk away and to face the repercussions of that, no matter like how scary it can be. It's always worth it. And so but I just feel like with the Six of Stars here, yeah, it's almost like you'll lose an opportunity, or you're maybe afraid of losing what comes with this connection. But ultimately, I feel like it's draining your life force. I feel like it's, the Seven of Wands here. The Seven of Wands can talk about standing strong in your own beliefs and protecting yourself, and having boundaries. I feel like with the Star here in reverse, it's like at what cost are you a part of this relationship? And it feels like it's at the cost of your soul. And I feel like it's like maybe your scarcity, or like when it comes from, I'm not judging it, I just want to explain that this happens to most humans. I feel like where if we're in a state of insecurity or fear of not having enough, we may be prone to agreeing to situations that, may offer us something in regards to that, like relieving that sense of insecurity, but may also cost something, which I feel like maybe your like individuality, feeling inspired, getting to follow your own path. All right, let me just get some oracle cards here. Can we clarify pile number 2's perspective? This could be a work situation too. Like, yeah, it's possible. And maybe it's like, I just feel like there's strict regulations or something like that, or I feel like you're not free to create, or you're not free to be in your power. Can we clarify this what's going on with pile number 2 here? We have hiding, can't be caught. We have the lonely journey of the priestess. We have shared tenderness. Then calm within transformation. Okay. All right, so for some of you, if this is a situation that maybe you've already left, I just want to say that possibility. Let me just ask. Actually, I don't know, because I'm just seeing here that the themes that are coming through, I can say for sure, are what's going through your mind is paying the toll of having to go on your own journey, um, of having to realize that it may be more lonely, but that's sort of the price you can pay sometimes to follow your passions. And I feel like with Can't Be Caught here, it's like you're imagining sort of this solo path, or you're already walking it. But I feel like with hiding here, it is possible that you're maybe in a situation right now where you don't feel free to express your emotions. And I feel like you may long to sort of just be untouchable. I feel like that's maybe what you're wanting. I feel like you may be afraid though of the loneliness of it, of maybe walking away from this specific situation or whatever hierophant energy this is. You know, this could be like a church, this could be an organization, it could be like family rules, it could be cultural values and rules. It's like it could be anything, or it could be a specific commitment to something that maybe once seemed right but isn't seeming right anymore. I feel like with the Nine of Swords in reverse, you may be kind of holding in your stress because you're trying to not, you're trying to stay calm. Yeah. So I definitely want to see what the heck is going on. So I would say this is likely your reading if these themes resonate. And I think you guys might be on different timelines with this, but that's roughly what I'm seeing. All right, so what are pile number two's person that they want to hear more about? What are their current thoughts and feelings towards them? We have Six of Crystals. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Can we clarify the Six of Crystals? Yeah, okay. I don't know about this energy, you guys. Like, I just want to just tell you that like my intuition system is giving me bad feelings in my stomach about this. And so I just really want to ask, and honestly, tarot can exaggerate energies because the energies are always on a spectrum. So I don't want to install fear in anyone where the situation is more mild. I would say just make, like, you would already know certain behaviors of this person. Like, I'm not here to reveal anything you don't really know. I feel like I'm just here to talk about it for what it is. And I just feel that this is someone who's trying to hold on to you, who may be fixated on you trying to get away is how it feels. But let's just clarify. What are this person's thoughts and feelings, please? Yeah, we have the Five of Swords. I feel like this is someone who can't be happy for you. This is someone who does not have your best interest at heart. This is someone who's treating you like, this is a very, very harmful vibe I'm getting, and I'm just trying to put it into words and slow down, but I feel with the Five of Swords, this is someone who is wanting to sabotage you and will do whatever to get what they want, is how it feels. Yeah, so I can tell why this would be kind of a freaky situation because I'm getting multiple things. I'm getting like if there is a situation where you are trying to take steps towards financial sovereignty, I feel like this is someone who's wanting to sabotage that, who is wanting to be the only one. It's like this is someone who's wanting to control the resources. And it's like, unless you're under sort of their thumb, they don't want you to have anything. And it's like, this is someone who doesn't care for your well-being. They care about having control. This is giving villain in a movie where someone is getting away and they're like, send the wolves, you know what I mean? Or like someone who's not just going to give up easily. Okay, can we clarify the Two of Pentacles here in reverse? The Two of Wands. I feel like this, yeah, okay. What are the honest thoughts and feelings of the person, of pile number two's person? Yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. This person is almost like wanting to see you fail. I feel like this person is aware of you making moves towards, and again, I'm getting, if not like it's like you're towards your own self-sovereignty and towards being, feeling secure and stable on your own. With the Queen of Stars here, you know, being able to take care of yourself, to provide for yourself, to be abundant within your own right. I feel like you're making moves towards that. And I feel like this person doesn't want you to feel like you're making the right decision, or like, it's like they want to see a lack of success, a lack of progress. They want to see your life fall apart. I'm sorry to say these things, but it's like literally what's coming through. Seven of Stars in reverse. It's like they don't, it's like they want to like, I literally feel bad channeling this because it just feels so wrong. But I'm getting this energy of someone who wants you to quit soon, or wants, it's like I'm hearing nip it in the bud. Like it's almost like this person, before you get the opportunity to build momentum, it's almost like they want to pull the root up, which is horrifying. I really don't like this. What are their thoughts and feelings? We have inside looking out, and it flipped in reverse. We have restlessness. We have repopulation. Can't be caught. Yeah, seriously. And look at this, smother at the back of the deck. This person is like this snake that's like, there's definite, I don't want to scare you guys, but I just have to channel what's coming through. And I don't know why I have to keep explaining myself. I just really want you guys to be empowered, and I really care for you, and I just really feel protective over you, and I just do not stand for this energy whatsoever. And I just feel like this is someone who is trying to constrict you, and it's like they're trying to make it so you cannot escape. I feel like with the inside looking out, this is someone who does not want you. This is, oh my gosh, it's like they don't want you to escape. They don't want you to come out of a state of being suppressed or thinking. It's almost like they want you to be believing that these certain opportunities are for other people, or that, you know, who are you to shine, or who are you to go after something. And again, there's this energy here with repopulation where it's like this person is afraid of how you might be able to re-begin, or what new seeds you might plant. It's almost like this person doesn't want you planting new seeds. And there's very much this energy here of them being the green hands reaching out. And let me just read this one because it came through twice now. It says, you are movement, and your movement allows you to better explore how you fit in the world. Dance on, little darling. You're completely free in this moment, in this time, and you're shining your lovely grace on everything you touch. We see hands from all around you trying to grasp you as you dance out in the sky. Hands that want to take part in your magic. Hands that want to slow you down. Hands that want to bring you down to earth. You're too fast. No one can catch you. and no one can tame you or slow you down. It's time for a solo journey, so put on your dancing shoes and wiggle your way out into your personal cosmos. Enjoy the nectar of freedom and discovery. That's what this is about for you, is freedom and discovery, and self-cultivation. And this person is seriously like livid about it. Like they are super entitled. They feel like they're treating you like you don't have your own rights. Like this is ridiculous and literally is making me like super angry. Just know that people use fear to keep you from taking action or freeing yourself. And that's also what the Eight of Swords is about too, is like this may be a situation where there's just been like a lot of like mental warfare is how it feels, or just like unfair dynamics that have maybe caused you to be afraid of even freeing yourself, or afraid of what would happen, or just what there could be a million different fear tactics that have been used. But I feel like the main thing I want you to hear is that the Eight of Swords is always where they keep you there. You are keeping yourself there because they've instilled enough fear in you. And it's also a victimization card. So just, I'm very concerned about this. So, you know, please make sure that you're protecting yourself, you're staying safe. And again, I just want to say, the main thing is you have so much more power than you think. And just the oppressor keeps you oppressed by using fear more than they do by actually having power over you. So just know that this person does not have power over you. They just don't. And you can get away and you can be successful. This person is literally afraid. They're afraid because they know that's possible. I've never got a reading like this, so I'm just feeling a type of way about it. Let me see. You guys need the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck. Yeah, look, it's like curiosity meets opportunity. And I just cut the deck here. And I feel like this person wants you to miss opportunity, does not want you. They do not want, this is like a very controlling energy. It's like they don't even want you getting any ideas because they want to be in control. It's like they don't want you to be inspired. Okay, let me just see. So what is this? What is this energy? What the heck is this, Spirit? We have eternity, endless moments, repetition, it's always tea time. We have look closely, ask questions, think before acting. We have keep your temper, don't allow anger to rule you. We have learning to create what you desire. You have change in the night. So I feel like you may have changed very quickly. And then with painting the roses red, covering up errors. It's also at the most minimal level. It's possible that this is just like a relationship where someone has kind of taken over your, likes to make decisions for you. And it's almost like I'm getting this energy of being stuck in this loop and it keeps you kind of imprisoned. I even just got like the Matrix energy. If you think about the Matrix, it's like, I feel like, it's like, think about how the Matrix is keeping you sort of stuck in this loop and you really don't question your reality. It's almost like this person is like, is like the robots in that, where it's like they're feeding off of you somehow. And it's also kind of making me think of, Tangled energy, where like the evil stepmom is keeping her doing the same thing over and over a day. Like, and the whole song is like, okay, this is what I do. I read books and then I clean, and like what she longs to do is leave the tower and explore. And I feel like the evil stepmother, or the evil mother, whatever, she discourages, and this is with like a lot of like oppressive, even just think about like oppressive nations where there's like a dictator. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's like they limit access to information. Like they don't want their people even questioning their realities or questioning the rule, questioning, you know what I mean? It's like they don't want curious minds. And so it's almost this energy of this situation where this person wanted to keep you sort of numb in a cycle and not thinking for yourself if what you're doing is what you wanted. Okay, let me see. So I just want to read you just a little bit. So it says, this important decision requires you to inquire and inform yourself and think it through thoroughly. Find out as much as you can and look at the fine print. So I feel like it's possible that, okay, so no, it says doing what you're told without using your own wits and intelligence. So I feel like this person is got you in that state, but I also feel like this person maybe will make you want to feel like you are being reckless or arrogant by listening to yourself. And I feel like, again, this has a lot to do with, sorry, let me just look 1 second. Yeah, I feel like you're coming out of this stage where you are, you're starting to discover what actions you can actually take to create forward movement in your life. And I feel like you're starting to ask for other advice. You're trying to, it's like instead of just dreaming about things, I feel like this person is very angry at the thought of you gaining the power to create for yourself. Let me just see. Yeah. So it says, feeling as though you're not growing as a person or that you've stayed the same for a very long time. You may be looking to introduce some new and exciting challenges into your life to help you grow and discover more about all the wonderful selves you have within you. And so, yeah, I feel like there's this energy of like some situation or relationship or commitment being something that's starting to restrict your freedom and restrict your ability to be able to make mistakes. You deserve to be able to take chances and make choices, make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, explore new things and not be afraid of doing that. And I feel like there's just this energy of like someone who's not wanting that to work out for you. Very sketch. Can we clarify this energy, please? Spirit, can we clarify this energy for pile number 2? What do they need to hear about this? Yeah, it's time to be brave, 100%. If you guys want to email me about your situation, and if you need any extra support, like I'm genuinely willing to talk with you, because I just like really don't, this is like not acceptable. So please feel free to email me. My email is trueseekerstarot, not T, 7@gmail.com. All right, what else does pile number 2 need to hear? Yeah, we have Breaking Dawn. You're definitely going through a shift here. It's like, it's time is what I'm hearing as well. Yeah, we have Stifled, Bored, and Stuck, which is exactly what I'm getting. And then we also have a wonderful idea and the aha moment. And so this card, I love reading. Like, this is such a good explanation, that I do want to read it, just because even when I get this card still, I just love rereading it because it really reinforces the ideas. And so even if it's like boring to listen to reading, trust me, it's worth it because this message is so accurate for you right now. So it says, the Fairy of Highlands does not want to fight. She feels it is not in her nature. She wants to resolve disputes peacefully, but she will fight if it must come to that. And she's showing you now that you too have the means to stand up for yourself, even though you have almost chronically avoided conflict and allowed others to take advantage. It's now time to take this sword, step into the part of yourself that knows how to take a stand, speak the truth, and not back down when a threat of conflict looms. And I feel like this person may intimidate you. So it says, it may seem unnatural and wrong and frightening, but this little fairy knows it. But it is time, and the giving up of what you have worked so hard for in order to avoid conflict or confrontation is no longer right. Take a stand, blah, blah, blah. So it says, see this, my sword of power. I've long feared to use it, but now I must grow strong and take it up as you must too. The thought of wielding it, of hurting anyone makes me sad, but I know what must be done. And this is one of those situations where it's like you are more than valid in standing up for yourself, for calling the truth out, for cutting people off, for hurting people's feelings that are systematically hurting you right now. Like, absolutely not. It says, I feel sorrow, but I will be fearless and strong and do what needs to be done. I will no longer give my power away so easily. I will take back what's mine. The time of truth is over. Truce. It's time to speak your truth and be strong. People have been taking over your ground, wanting what you've worked for without doing the work themselves. They've been taking advantage of your peaceful nature. But enough is enough. Sad as it is, it's time to change this. To cut away the cords between you and those who have taken so much. And yes, it is sad for you, but do not allow sorrow and guilt to neglect self-protection. Honor yourself, raise your sword, and do not back down. Amen, you guys. Like, please. It's Spirit's also telling you with Breaking Dawn here that this isn't going to be as scary as you think it might be. It's like, I feel like this is going to quickly usher you into a new reality. Yeah, and so it says, if you've been going through a long night of the soul, know that not only the worst has passed, but the best is on the horizon. Soon there will be a new dawn. Your energy will flow again. You'll be reconnected to your own internal power source once more. Your spirit will blossom and your intuition will hum. It says, you have a good reason to feel optimistic, cheerful, and like something has changed on a permanent basis. You're on the verge of a new day, and it is in these delicate and faint beginnings that something strong and bright will come. Do not wish to hurry up the brightest part of the day. Enjoy this tender new birth of time, which you have longed for. Yeah, and I just feel like your person is like wanting to rip that up for you. Like it's like also the situations, I'm going to call it what it is, like of oppression. Think about how hope of things being better are what inspires rebellion. And so I feel like that's why in so many situations, a lot of times people's, and like these are dark themes, so I'm just going to go into them because obviously this is the reading. And I watch a lot of true crime because I enjoy psychology. And in certain situations where, and I just like, I guess trigger warning if these things are scary for you. But when someone was kidnapped, this is the story. I don't know if you guys have like heard about this, but it was like the girl, she was blonde, and like there was like this like fake messiah guy that like took her and like kept her for an extended amount of time. And when she finally got free, a lot of people asked her like, why didn't, like, you had opportunities to speak up, like why didn't you say what your real name was, like why didn't you use certain opportunities to escape? And I also feel like it's very similar for any situation of abuse, like also just with like the Diddy trial and everything going on with that. Like when you are being victimized, it's like the fear that it couldn't be better, like you almost surrender to the situation because you stop believing that there's anything could be better. And that can be, you stop having hope in your happiness. And it can get really sad if I go into it, but I don't know. If you guys are going through it, like seriously, I just want to send you love and just send you power and just know that this is so good for you. So it says, and again, this stifled, bored, and stuck. And this talks about like when you're in a situation where there's growing dissatisfaction and unfairness. So it says, in your admirable quest for balance, you can actually become too neutral, pretending to be polite, not making waves, not speaking your truth. So speaking your truth in this situation is really important. And I don't know if it's to this person, but I feel like it's important to speak the truth to someone. It says, a raw and honest emotional reaction you had to a person or to an issue, and express it. it's very well being a lover of harmony and not wanting to be a troublemaker, but being a lukewarm person in regards to situations that matter isn't going to do you favors. Bottling up your true self in turn leads to unhealthy relationship, aches and pains, and even illness. It says your desire to be liked, to be pleased, to be seen as a lady or gentleman is cheating yourself out of something wonderful that you deserve to experience. And this could be, again, with the Hierophant energy, there may be some sort of standards or some protocol or something you're supposed to follow that just no longer feels right to you, no longer feels right to your soul. It's feeling oppressive. And so this is saying sometimes there are rules that simply need to be broken. Keeping the spirit of the law sometimes means breaking the letter of the law. That's how things change. And I feel like you guys need to hear that, because I feel like, it's like in religious, when things are become too extremist, it's like, and with the King of Swords in reverse, I feel like you are in the midst of like an extreme situation where someone is very like, there's this one explanation I read about the King of Swords in reverse that was like, someone that's just really, it's almost at an unhealthy level to what a degree, it's like almost evil how much joy they get out of like enforcing the law. It's giving like corrupt policeman, and being like, why this was in my like job description or whatever. But the main message is you may be afraid to go against this because maybe, it's been ingrained into you, but Spirit's saying you are very in the right to do this. Like, you will not be punished on any spiritual level. You like, do not, I don't know. I can't say it enough, but this is as clear as it can get. So it says there's a situation at the moment that has just revealed itself as unjust, unfair, absolutely unattractive to you, but you've yet to speak up. The most inspiring thing about this situation is you'll discover just how safe it is to stand up for what you truly believe in. Others will be inspired too. So while it feels like you're taking a risk at first, you'll realize that you've started your own revolution. So yeah, I mean, who cares about this person's thoughts and feelings? Like, this person is just not operating. This person should not be treated with acceptance, and this person needs to be protected against. And they are not in the right, no matter how they're trying to twist their words. This also might be someone who's really good at like arguing you out of anything, or like just using some sort of like jargon, or to say, well, this is like what's right and this is what's wrong, you know what I mean? So just don't listen to this person. And like, if they're not willing to listen to you, it's important that you do speak to people who will listen, and not trust this person's perspective or their skewed views of what's justice or what the like rules are, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I hope that really helps you guys. Like, please understand that it's so important that you protect yourself and put yourself first. And, if it feels wrong, it is wrong. If it feels oppressive, it is oppressive. Like, you don't need to question yourself or feel bad about yourself for not being happy with something, I'm thinking of like the Netflix documentary that's like Smile and Be Polite or something. And it's like disturbing, like cults where the women are like expected to never, like, to just always be like appeasing and passive. Heck no, absolutely not. You're meant for so much more than whatever the situation is. So, for the extended reading, I want to reveal this person for who they really are, what you need to see about them and their nature. I also want to reveal what their tactics are, just so you can be aware of it. And I can like warn you like how this person may be manipulative or what their tactics are going to be. I can also go into, anything you need to be aware of, or like how to best protect yourself, or like if this person's going to take action towards you. I just want to give you a warning about anything like that, if there is one to give, and then just overall empowerment guidance for you. So I will have that link down below. If you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see future pick a card readings. Thank you for doing that. And I'm just sending my love out to you guys, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Guardian of the Night Tarot and this Black Obsidian point, then this is going to be a reading for you where we're going to be looking at your person's current thoughts and feelings toward you. And We're going to start off the reading with an energy check-in. I know that you guys like them, so I'll just really make an effort to do them. So ideally, this will mirror back to you your own energy, and that way you can have an idea of whether or not this is your pile. So Spirit, can we tune into pile number 3's perspective of this connection, this person? What is their perspective? We have the Queen of Swords. Love to see her. The Knight of Wands. The Emperor. Aries energy. What is pile number 3's perspective? The Eight of Swords. Can we clarify the Queen of Swords? The Seven of Swords. Can we clarify the Knight of Wands? We have the Seven of Wands in reverse with Justice in reverse. Okay, wow. So I feel like you may be discerning certain... Let me actually just finish out the spread, but there's a message coming through of maybe this is a situation, or you could just be in the process of learning to become more aware of when a situation is unfair to you or imbalanced, or where a situation is where surrendering to something and giving in can be a loss of power versus when it can be surrender. So I feel like here there's this feeling though that there's a situation maybe with this person or somehow in regards to them where you may be stepping into your power of going, like, you're not going to be a doormat, you're not going to be walked over because something wasn't right. And so this could be in the way that they treated you, or it could just be that you realize that it's hard to put into words, but it's almost like the way that you may have initially responded to a situation may have brought forward a pattern. It's almost like you became consciously aware of something you were doing that was unfair to yourself, or some kind of treatment that you were accepting. All right, can we clarify the Emperor? We have the Knight of Cups in reverse with the Three of Swords. So I feel like you may be needing to make some kind of a difficult decision. I feel like it may be heartbreaking for you right now. In regards to this person or situation, but it's giving the energy of, I have to make this choice because it's what's right for me, no matter how much it hurts. Another interpretation could be that this person has betrayed you, and because of that, it's like you have no choice but to kind of step in and assert your boundaries and protect yourself with the Divine Masculine energy here. Can we clarify the Eight of Swords? The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, and then we have the Empress here in reverse. Yeah, I just feel like a situation has revealed itself to be unfulfilling for you. Like, I just feel like you're not being respected the way that you should. And I feel like this is bringing forward a kind of recognition within yourself of like, what treatment and what kinds of situations am I going to allow in my life? What do I deserve to receive for the work that I put in? This is reminding me of situations, and I don't have a specific movie in mind, but it's briefly coming through like that, where it's almost like someone felt like how can I put this into words? I just don't want to lose the download, but it's like when someone has been not seeing just what value they're actually bringing to something, it's giving, why am I working here when I don't even get paid for my worth? You know, I don't need, like, it's where you recognize that you're the main, not the main character, but you're actually the one with the power in a situation, because you're the one who's bringing all the value to the situation. And only because it's like, why am I feeling like I'm not tied to this, I'm not stuck in this, but there is this energy of what I've almost been convinced that this makes sense, or that this situation I should surrender to it, or that it's working for me. But it feels like you're recognizing that you have the power to take action and create whatever you want. And so this could be in regards to a different kind of a relationship, or if this is just like a situation, or a work situation or something like that. It's almost like you need me more than I need you. That's okay. Sorry, that took me a long time to get to, but that's what I'm getting. And you know, those situations in life where it's like you suddenly wake up to that and you're like, wait, why? But then you're being treated like it's the other way around. Like, and then someone has the audacity to like criticize you or ask for more or be disappointed with something or wanting you to do more, you know, or someone just like mistreating you because it's like you're being taken for granted. Yeah, so I feel like that could be a situation going on. But it's like, yeah, look at this. Gifts, the portal, justice in reverse. It's like you may have been thinking for a while in a certain situation that, you know, like maybe you weren't seeing, I'm trying to put words in this, but it's almost like, what am I doing this for? Realizing that what you're doing something for isn't, like your work isn't being noticed, your work isn't being recognized. And if it's not your work, it's like your value or what you're doing for a relationship, like what you're contributing. Can we please clarify this energy? Yeah, literally. Oh my God. I was like, if this card comes out, it's such a confirmation, because ungrateful daughter and earthly mother. Someone's ungrateful. It's like you're in a situation where you are the one who's bringing the character, the support, the care, while someone else gets to just be like, let me just read it to you. But it says, ungrateful daughter and earthly mother, humble mother, always gives love to her daughter. And don't take it as mother and daughter. It's more just like a dynamic like this. It says, even when her daughter has become spoiled by the ways of the material world and has inflated her ego, and it makes her ego appear much larger, the mother, grounded in earth, will always see past her temporary whims and give her love and kiss her hand, sending wishes that she may soon find wisdom and connection to the earth. And this is like, I get this energy. This energy actually is really great when it is a mother-daughter, because I think if you are a mother, it makes a lot of sense to be giving your child like a lot of grace as they're growing up. And but then it's like, if we're recreating a dynamic like that, where it's like, you know, that energy where, or at least I can speak to it, maybe you guys relate too, but when you guys were teenagers and, you know, when you just like were rude to your parents, and I mean, I guess I can thank like my dad for this, but he always was able to stay patient and never like held it against me what a brat I was being, which is like, you know, it's kind of like spoiled. It's like someone is acting a little bit spoiled, and it happens obviously when you're a kid, or you let your emotions get the best of you. But as you grow up, like, you don't need to be mothering other people. Like, you don't need to be extending a ton of compassion and grace. And it's like almost like your role has become tending to some like someone who has like this bad attitude, or someone that just kind of expects you to take whatever treatment, you know, and not stand up for yourself. And it's like, I feel like there's just this energy of going, why am I doing this anymore? Yeah, we have love grows love. And I feel like it's so interesting because these cards in themselves are not negative. It's just like, and love does grow love, but there are certain situations where love can be taken for granted. It's like, it's not love if it's not loving to yourself. Like, that's what it is. It's like when you're giving so much love that the situation is now not loving to you. You know, sometimes extending more compassion, more support, more giving, like showing more and more and more love to someone that's not showing it back to you is not effective. But I feel like some of us have been conditioned to do that. Yeah, no one is yours but you. Totally. It's like you guys are realizing, like, I want to make my own mark. Like, why am I doing all this work for someone else is how it feels. Yeah, and I'll just show you guys as well. So it says, being responsible for others might be a job or something you feel you need to do, but you can only steer a person other than yourself so much. To recognize this is to help others do the same. To put focus back on your growth and path can help you see yourself more clearly and to feel the reward of the labors you do for you, you know? Yeah. And so I just feel like this may be a situation where you're just feeling like it's not balanced. It's not, your job isn't supposed to be someone else's sidekick or to tend to someone else, you know? Or it's almost getting like solving other people's problems, or, you know, always being the safety net for someone else while they get to, it's like that feeling of, why am I dealing with this? Like, actually, if I wasn't in this situation, like, you are bringing this, you are the struggle in my life. Like, I'm not even the one that's having struggles. Like, it's like, not to say you don't have struggles, but I hope that makes sense. Okay, so, all right, I guess we'll now be looking into your person's thoughts and feelings towards you. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords, Eight of Wands, Justice, the Nine of Wands, what are pile number 3's person's thoughts and feelings towards them? The Lovers in reverse, Gemini, and Libra here. We have the Empress in reverse. Can we clarify Justice? 10 of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Knight of Cups, the Four of Wands. Okay, so your person, I think, is aware or recognizing how this is no longer a shared situation of happiness. How you are not, this person feels like you are not feeling appreciated. And with the Lovers in reverse, this either feels like them reflecting on how this situation has not been, how they have not really been loving toward you. And so in regards to that, that's why you are calling this out. Or it's like, I don't know why it's just like, the reason I'm confused is it's almost like your person's thoughts and feelings are less about their feelings and more just like a recollection of what's going on. So it's kind of weird that it's like they're almost just saying what happened. So they might just be processing the situation right now. But it feels like with Justice here, there's a feeling of recognition that you seem to be right in what you're saying with the Queen of Swords. This person is perceiving you and feeling the truth of what you're saying, or what shift you're maybe asking for, what you've called out to this person. I want to see just the Lovers in reverse clarified, please. in regards to their thoughts and feelings. We have the Star in reverse. Yeah, so I feel like this is kind of a moment of realization for this person. Like, I feel like they're feeling, with the Star in reverse, it's like they're losing hope here. And it's, okay, the way they feel is like they maybe didn't recognize how unrealistic their perspective was. I feel like they thought that the situation was a supportive situation, or like a mutually supportive situation. They see it that way, but I feel like there is this recognition that maybe it wasn't. And I'm not surprised to see the Lovers in reverse, because it's like there's a recognition of how, let me put this into words. It's almost like the way that they thought love was, or like what they thought was loving, they're recognizing was not loving. And so you calling it out seems to have them recognizing and becoming aware of the lack of future, the fact that the future really is at jeopardy here. And I think that they feel like it's valid. Like this person is feeling like this situation, the way it is and the way maybe you're feeling at this point, seems to be something they need to see as a consequence of their choices and actions. And they do see it as fair. And I feel like they're kind of just realizing it's something that they need to persevere through or accept. So can we clarify the Knight of Cups? Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Can you clarify that? The Chariot. Okay, yeah. So I feel like your person is wanting to take some kind of action towards you that shows their affection for you or their love for you. I feel like this person wants to make things right with you, to be honest. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's like they want to come out of whatever the current circumstance has been. Like if there's been stagnancy, or it's like this person hasn't been reliable or consistent with you, or they haven't been very romantic, or they haven't really expressed just how much like what their feelings are for you. I feel like with the Chariot here, it's like this person is wanting to overcome whatever difficulties there are and persevere through the challenges. And it's like they do want success with you. Can we clarify Justice and how they're feeling about Justice? We have the Magician in reverse. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here too. I feel like it's almost like they've recognized how they haven't been successful in, they haven't done what they wanted, is what I would say. It's like they haven't, there's a feeling, I wouldn't say it's shame, but it almost feels like they're taking this like a personal failure, and no matter what and like with the Star and the Magician reverse, it's almost like they're realizing how out of touch with reality they were, or how unaware. It's giving the energy of someone that like thought really highly of themselves, or isn't really able to read the pulse of situations very well. Because I feel like this person has kind of been in la la land. It's like they thought they were effective, that they were on track. They thought you guys were fine. But that's how, what's scary though is like that's how blind they may have been to the situation. And so there's almost this recognition of, maybe I shouldn't be as confident as I have been in how I've been operating. Like this person's recognizing that, well, if you feel this way, it must mean that I'm not as great as I thought I was. And it must mean that I've been kind of seeing things from a more selfish or skewed perspective. Like they're kind of like, I don't know if this person is like just, This is someone who comes off as like being unaware, but not intentionally wanting to harm you, or it's like they don't want the situation to be unfair, but it's like their own blindness. It's like they're kind of it's giving like unaware, like not stupid guy, but just like when they miss the nuances of things and they're just overly confident for no reason. Okay, so can we clarify the 10 of Cups in reverse? We have the 8 of Swords in reverse. I feel like this person doesn't want, it's like they're seeing what they've been creating for what it is. They're seeing the situation for what it is, and it's like, it's almost like this scary feeling for this person of disillusionment. They're recognizing that they've been disillusioned, or this is a disillusioning experience where what they thought was this like 10 of Cups is actually a situation that has been constricting and limiting and even like maybe slightly victimizing, or like someone's been feeling stuck in the situation. So not only it's like the idea of what they thought this was and what it was becoming is just so different from the reality that it's like almost jarring for them. This isn't someone who's though trying to deny your validity in your experience. It's almost like they didn't recognize your experience, and it is actually like horrifying for them and somewhat not embarrassing, but just like it's like humbling. It's humbling for them to realize how you're not really feeling the same way they are. And it's giving like, it's one of those situations where it's like someone doesn't even realize that the other person isn't having fun, you know? It's almost like the kind of people who can be a little bit more self-centered, and so they're not really aware of and this is what's unfortunate though. So even though someone doesn't have negative intentions with this, it's still giving like you're that short-sighted, like you're that unaware of other people. It's giving, we watch the movie I want to watch every single night and you never get mad about it, so I assume that's what you want to do too. But I never ask you what you want to watch or if you like doing that. It's almost like this assumption. It's like a naive assumption. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, yeah, and that makes a lot of sense with the ungrateful child here, because it's almost like that's how they're treating the situation where, you know, like kids are kind of, you know how kids can be unaware of, you know, that no one really wants to maybe hear about something sometimes. Like sometimes we have to just, but the fact that I'm even having to compare to like a child, it just shows you how real the situation's been for you. And I think maybe that's why it's been hard for you, is because maybe you know that this person isn't malicious, but you still, and so maybe that's what's made it hard to kind of like speak up for what you're not really happy about, or speak about how like you want things to be different, or how you don't like certain things, because I don't know why, but I get situations that are like that where you almost feel bad and you're almost just, you find yourself kind of acquiescing just to like, because you know how excited they are about that thing. So you're just like, yeah, like I'll like listen to that, or we can do what you want to do. But I feel like it's been a lot of catering to this person's like preferences and ego. And I feel like they actually kind of are like unaware of just how other people don't really, they might be feeling supported by certain situations and just assume that it's a supportive situation. It's almost like they have a hard time fully seeing the other person's perspective, or recognizing that there are two full people with two different experiences, and they can just be so wrapped up in their own that they might assume that everyone was happy. It's like yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Like, I feel like, especially, this is like the opposite of hypervigilance, where this person is likely to miss subtle cues of like being frustrated. I feel like this is the kind of person who needs it literally spelled out to them what what you want more of, or what they need, because they almost lack a natural capacity to recognize when other people may want or need something, or when they don't want something. Like, this person is like not a mind reader. Like, this is like the furthest extent of that. And so I think honestly this person feels like really, it's not coming that they feel bad necessarily. It's almost like they feel disillusioned, but they trust you. They believe what you say. This is someone who respects you at the very least. They do respect like your perspective. Can we clarify the Eight of Wands? Yeah, we have the Hierophant in reverse. I just feel like they're coming to realize that the current system really isn't working for you. Like, there's a need for you to challenge and rebel from the current status quo, and I think that's what you're doing. But how do they feel about that? Okay, the Four of Pentacles. I feel like they want to maintain the security with you. I feel like they feel like their security is being threatened. How else? Six of Cups. Yeah, they want to preserve the connection. Like, I feel like they feel very nostalgic, and like they're looking back and being like, oh my gosh, like they don't want to lose you. What are their feelings specifically? King of Pentacles. I feel like this person wants to be better. Like, I feel like this person wants to provide you with more security and make you feel better. Like, they also are recognizing how, no, you know, and they do feel the way, what they're recognizing is they've been maybe using the connection with you as like security for themselves, but they're kind of recognizing that it might be childish, or it's like time for them to elevate into more maturity and being responsible for not just their stability, but other people's. It's like they're recognizing how they're outsourcing what they should be within themselves, you know? And I think it's kind of not embarrassing, but it's like disillusioning. It's like they didn't even see just to what degree they're kind of being like a man child. They feel like they're a man child because they were acting like one. It's also possible that for some of these people, maybe in their childhood, they may have been excessively attended to or like protected. Like, they may have had overprotective parents that like did a lot of things for them, but that didn't allow them to become their own King of Pentacles. It's like they didn't learn. So like, instead of or they maybe even had like a lack of fathering, in a sense where like the father would go like, come on, like you got to do this, right? Or I feel like they've had too much empathy and too much understanding, and not enough of other people being honest with them. Like, I feel like people like have protected them from certain hard truths, but that's actually prevented them from becoming to be able to be a better partner and a better, I'm hearing like a better man, a better husband, a better like spouse, let's say. Because I think this person is someone who wants to be this King of Pentacles, but they're kind of seeing maybe how their childhood led them to be like overly sheltered in a way. And if not the case of that, it could be that because they didn't get security, they're constantly seeking it in their relationship. So it could be vice versa. Like, they're repeating the same pattern, or they're like compensating for something from their past. But either way, they are feeling, it's not even a feel. This person is more logical. It's like they're more like, it's like a logical reality is just becoming clear to them. This person may be someone who is not super good at reading the emotions of others. Yeah, and I just feel like with Death in reverse, they're recognizing how they haven't transformed very much, or how they've been resisting changing and growing and becoming the process of transformation. Like, I just feel like they're recognizing that they haven't transformed as much as they would have hoped that they, or not even that they thought they would have by now. It's almost like they were completely oblivious. This is like an oblivious person. Yeah, and so I feel like this could be someone that you have love and empathy for, and it's like, because it was unintentional, I can see how it got to this point, but nonetheless, you've recognized that it's an imbalanced situation. And at some point, you really are having to recognize where more love and more compassion is enabling someone rather than helping them to be the best they can. It's like love, like nurturance is a good thing, but what's also a good thing is like tough love. All right, so yeah, and I'm seeing this growing up card. I feel like this person is recognizing how they've maybe not been, they're not as mature as they'd like to be. And it's almost like they're having realizations. They're definitely having realizations. They do care for you though. All right, so what are this person's thoughts and feelings right now? We have, I wonder what will happen next. Reverse. We have message for a rabbit, keeping up in reverse, immense effort. There's totally this energy here. I've been picking up on this energy, but okay, this is kind of a hard card to describe because I'm not calling you an animal, but I just want to use the reference this. But you know how there are some people that kind of just make assumptions. They have a too literal of an understanding of the world almost. And it's like, sometimes people can think like, oh, this animal loves that. You know, like, you know, when people do certain things because it's like stereotypical to think that a dog likes a certain thing. So you don't even notice if they're showing signs of not enjoying that. Not only that, you're oblivious to the cues of the situation in front of you in the here and now, because you're just relying on like you're like, it's almost like it's living in a very, like, you have a bunch of it's like a stereotype where it's like you've categorized things very like without a lot of gray space. So this person could be neurodivergent for some of you. If not, it's like they just really, I don't know. But what this reminds me of too is like when guys like have really unrealistic ideas of like what women are like it's almost like this person has these assumptions of like, I thought that it's like hard to channel because it's just like, it's kind of ridiculous. But I guess some people have this, and I've seen it before, but it's like, it's crazy when someone actually believes it, I guess. But like, this is the kind of person who thinks like, is very rigid in what roles they assign to people or how they view people. So it's like, if it's a mother, the mother is the one that cooks and cleans. And this person would never question that. Like, it's like they would, it's like it doesn't cross this person's mind of, not every person will want to have that role. That doesn't make sense in every situation. And so this person just does not understand others very well. They don't understand other perspectives very well, but they think they do. That's the issue, is that they really think that they do. They don't realize that they're not really on par. So yeah, making assumptions about animal behavior, feeling you know about them, but missing the messages they're sending you. Being sentimental about animals rather than truly understanding their actual needs and desires. Yeah, so it's like, this person maybe is a very sentimental person. Like they think to themselves like, I love this. It's like they think because they care so much for something and they are so genuine in their care for it, um, but their care does not include um, being aware of that being's needs, desires, and preferences. Like it's almost like what is the definition of sentimental? Okay, so I am getting a better idea of your person, and hopefully I can edit out some of my rambling, but something about this person, it's like they're too sentimental, like they're overly sentimental. And I haven't even thought of sentimental that hard of a word, but if someone's extremely sentimental, it's actually not that they're logical, it's like they're overly emotional. So it's like, it says, and this is just AI overview. Being too sentimental, while often seen as a positive trait, can have downsides. Overly sentimental people may struggle with moving on from past hurts, be overly sensitive to criticism, and find it difficult making objective decisions based on rational thinking. So that can look like having difficulty moving on. It can be having overly sensitive reactions, being easily hurt by others' words or actions can lead to emotional distress and difficulty in healthy communication. Maybe that's a part of why you struggle with this person, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. And they're so sensitive that it's like, and that's like with a kid, like, like kids are very sentimental, right? I feel like they are. They're more prone to it than adults, where it's almost like, yeah, kids are extremely sentimental. It's like they don't want to get rid of their blanket, or it's almost like, when a child, it's like they want to bring something with them somewhere that maybe the context doesn't really make it appropriate, but because they love that thing so much, like you don't want to tell them that they need to maybe let go of certain things, like let go of childish things. I feel like this person's kind of like that, where it's like they're so invested in what they're invested in that it can maybe be hard to explain to them why that isn't ideal for other people, and why they maybe need to, like, you don't want to, it's almost like the feeling of not wanting to like kill someone's childlike dreams or something. But it's like, another thing we have is a potential for missed opportunities. So I feel like what can happen with this person is they can get really complacent, and really cling to what they know. And I feel like this is the kind of person who might like, it's almost hard for me to understand, because I don't really get it fully, to be honest, because I don't think I'm like this, but let me just think of some examples. But it's like someone where they're very content to kind of, it's like watching the same movie over and over and over again, which I totally relate to, but I do it more for anxiety when I do that. But I feel like this person like likes to dwell within what reminds them, because it makes them feel secure. So that's what I'm seeing, is like there's an over sentimentality and attachment to the past or childhood things, but because it's like makes them feel more secure. But then I feel like what can happen is maybe this person's like easily overwhelmed, or like they don't handle challenges very well. But yeah, so it says there's potentials for missed opportunities, not wanting to embrace new opportunities or experiences, social and relationship issues. Overly sentimental behavior can lead to misunderstandings or strained relationships with others. Some may perceive it as excessive and irrational. Difficulty regulating emotions, so difficult emotional outbursts, difficulty in expressing emotions appropriately. And then, yeah, risk of misplaced idealism. That's what I was getting with the Star in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. Okay, yeah. And so it's almost like this person has an overly simplified version of the world, like a child, where it's like, it's almost giving when, I'll just explain, but the reason why I'm saying this person might be on the spectrum, because it's coming through like that, because I'm thinking of like love or dating on the spectrum, and I'm thinking about Madison. Love her, literally love Dating on the Spectrum, by the way. Like that's like the best show ever. And it's like the beings are so pure. That's the thing, is like And I feel like this person is honestly pure, but it still can lead to problems. And I think that's maybe what you're realizing. And um, I'm thinking about with Madison, or there's this one girl who really loves like the Disney princesses, and she has like an attachment to the idea of what love is via that idealized kind of uh experience. So it's almost like she goes into dating and she wants to see the partner as Prince Charming, and it's like she brings dolls with her on dates because they're sentimental to her and they're comforting to her. Which is kind of like this person is what I'm seeing. And I just don't think so. It's like, for example, if you are seeing something in an idealized way or a sentimental way, or you're projecting your sentimentality onto something, you might not be seeing it clearly then. It's like it's making me think of that's how you could think you're so in love or you could think that the relationship is like a fairy tale. Like, I feel like this person has a tendency to do stuff like that. Like, think like it's like from their own skewed perspective. It's very childlike, where, you know, children are very good at projecting a lot onto certain, it's a little bit like imaginative, and it's like they genuinely feel, it's like thinking your dad is a superhero, you know what I mean? And so you see them as a superhero, so then when they're not, so you just assume that about them. And then you have experiences where maybe you see them not able to do something, and it's really hard to fathom because you see them as a superhero. Or let's say that they're always doing this stuff for you, and you don't, because you see them as a superhero, you're not really seeing their humanity. Like, you're not seeing the struggles that they go through. You're not seeing the nuances of it. You're not seeing the effort that they're putting into it. And so I feel like this person can kind of see love that way, or see relationships that way too, where it's like, they see it through that lens. I hope that's making sense, or I've given enough examples about it. Definitely super interesting. But yeah, it's like being sentimental about things without understanding the actual truth of that thing, because you're projecting something sentimental onto it. And so, like, for example, I mean, I'm just gonna like not act like I'm not a sentimental. I am a sentimental person, I would say, actually, but I just am not maybe overly sentimental in certain situations. But I feel like it can help. It's like, for example, this is just a blanket, but like I hold on to it because it's sentimental to me. Not mentally sentimental, but it's almost like comforting to me. So I'm seeing this not just as a blanket, I'm seeing it as like a what do they call it? Like a safety blanket, I guess, or a childhood blanket. And it's also very similar to how kids can have a stuffed animal, but it's not just a stuffed animal to them. It's like their friend or their support, you know what I mean? And so it's like this person can see life through that way. And it can make them feel, it just makes things harder for them, is what I'd want to say. It says sluggish approach is not being rewarded, feeling it's impossible to change things the way they are, feeling entrapped by the effort required to change your current circumstances. There's a real childlike nature to this person, where it's like they almost, I feel like you guys know this though, because this is your pile, but maybe it just needs to be explained to you, like the intentions behind it. But there's a real feeling of like being like a kid. Like, this reading is literally taking me back to what it feels like to be a kid, because you know, when a kid, like, challenges can just feel bigger than you, I feel like this person can feel that way a lot. You know, this is also making me think about is like, especially with the Magician in reverse here, this person also, it's not that they have, it's not that they're being egoic to be egoic, but, or they're not being egoic in like an intentionally, arrogant. Like, this person isn't arrogant, but they do have a big ego, because I think this person sees themselves through an idealized lens as well. So it's like, this person may, because they have a certain image of themselves, and it could again be like based off something ideal or something like sentimental, or like they see themselves like the king or something like that. They see themselves through a certain role. Maybe it's harder for them to see then how like sometimes reality isn't going to reflect that. You know what I mean? And so it's hard to put into words because it's so downloaded for me right now. But it's like, with the Justice here, it's almost like they're not operating in the real world fully, because it's like in their mind, it's supposed to be happily ever after. And if they were seeing things through this kind of like storybook way, then they may have a hard time understanding the true consequences of their actions, or it's almost like you've maybe protected this person in certain ways to not having to fully see how they're not really seeing things correctly, because it's almost like a child. Like, you don't want to like burst that person's bubble, you know? Or it's almost like you want to protect them. Like, you want them to believe in themselves. You want them to have this positive image because you know they're not coming from a negative place. But at the same time, at some point, it's important to see yourself more accurately and to see your own challenges and limitations for what they are. And I think it can be hard for this person because they like to live through the lens that confirms certain positive ideals. Like, if I'm in a relationship, that's like the love of my life, and it's going to be happily ever after, it's going to be happily ever after, like all these stories, and that's what I've read about. So it's like almost taking things literally. So like, this person might take certain ideas of love very literally and kind of apply or think that that's what the situation is. And so they're not then seeing the nuances of things. I hope that I'm explaining this correct, that it makes sense to you guys, because it makes sense to me. And I just think that they can then maybe not see the ways in which they're not actually, it's like they can make believe in their mind that they're a super great person, super talented, and it might be like based off of sort of like an idealized version of ourselves, maybe related to a character or something. But it can become a problem when we're not seeing ourselves accurately and we're not seeing other people accurately. And then we might have expectations of other people that are unrealistic. And we also then may not see how, like, for example, if we think that we are, like, let's say we're imagining that we're like a king and like the other person's like a queen or something. It's like, they might then not recognize the truth of what a king actually is. And it's so much more than like just identifying with that, or it's almost like this person has simplified ideas of things. And so they may not actually know what it takes to be a certain thing. Like, they don't see the hard reality of it. They don't see the steps of what actions you'd actually have to take in order to become a certain thing, because they're kind of just, they don't recognize to what degree they're kind of playing pretend in real life. And I think this can make it hard for them to see where certain changes need to be made, that it maybe is hard for them to recognize where they need to put more effort in their life, or where certain things aren't working. It's like they want to retreat sort of into a fantasy, is what it feels like. Yeah. And so it's almost like this person hasn't been able to see correctly, or maybe they're starting to see it for the first time, how they're misinterpreting a lot. I feel like they're also starting to see I don't know. It's like they're confused though. It's not that they're confused. I think they are starting. Are they starting to see it? Sorry, let me just ask Spirit. I think transformation can be hard for this person. Yeah, they have very rigid views, but because what the reason why it's hard for this person to take on a new opportunity or challenge themselves is because if they're living in a certain idea of what their reality is, or what their identity is, it may be hard for them to be humble enough to go like, these are the things I have to do. Like, and this is an overly simplified version of it too, but it's like if someone believes that they're like a king kind of, it's like then when it comes to like doing small tasks or something like that, like they're like, well, I'm a king, I shouldn't have to do this. You know what I mean? Or like, they may want to protect their bubble in a sense. And that, I hope that makes sense. So it can be that they're kind of triggered or easily threatened by anything not really living, anything that challenges the way that they're seeing things. Like, it's like they like to see things in a very specific way, and that's comfortable for them. So it's uncomfortable for them when those ideas are challenged. Okay, what I'm trying to explain is, if you guys have seen this movie, The Sandcastle, on Netflix, and the movie is so on point to what I'm trying to explain. It's like, so we see the whole movie through the lens of the youngest girl. And in her mind, their home is like an island. And she has this whole story to explain for that's protecting her from the horrors that is going on around her, like the war. So there's like actually a war going on, and it talks about like children in difficult situations too. But in this case, I just want to read this. So it says, the overarching theme of the Sandcastle is parental protection. Jonna is an imaginative young child who lives vicariously through the images in her head. Jasmine and Nabil wish to keep her innocence intact. And it's like the brother gets kind of frustrated at the girl sometimes because he's more aware of the situation, but he might like snap at her sometimes, but like obviously feels bad for it, because at the end of the day, like everyone can agree that what they can do to preserve someone's innocence and keep their like childlike world alive should happen, but it can be problematic when we grow up that we don't see the realities of situation. Like, we need to see the hard truth. And so I think this person's very, very sheltered from difficult truths. And I just think this person has a very childlike lens that they still live through. And it can cause them to not see the truth of how things are. It's like a survival mechanism, actually, like to not see the truth of how things are. So you actually are seeing through your idealized lens, you know? And so, yeah, this is very how they viewed you and the relationship with you, or other relationships in their life, where it's like, if certain things, it's like they would project whatever made fit into their fantasy, you know? It's like it just needed to fit into their story. And so I think it's caused this person to be extremely disconnected from the reality, or not really actually able to see the truths of things. So that's the best way I could describe like this person's mentality and how they are and the truth of them. Very, very, very interesting reading for me so far. So, and I can see that you feel overworked and kind of like, because it's like you can't be responsible to shield another person from reality, you know? Like, you can't be responsible for someone else's well-being in that way, because meanwhile you're dealing with the hard realities of life, you know? And I think it can get frustrating or unfair in certain situations if someone is always kind of protected. Like, it's like overprotection is not a good thing, because people need to experience challenges and need to understand that sometimes in life you are put under pressure and you do have to face the challenges. And like being a kid, it's a lot easier to kind of ignore the truth of things to protect yourself until things get really bad, and and it's our parents' kind of job to know what degree of that we should continue. So I just think this person's maybe had that in their life quite a bit. Okay, so this became sort of like a deeper reading, but I want to get you guys some guidance before I leave you off. And I also am going to do an extended reading. So for the extended, I want to see what this person is realizing about themselves. I want to see what they're realizing about you. I also want to see what they're not wanting to see or what they're refusing to look at. And then I want to see if this person is going to be making any changes here. And then I just want to get you any other guidance you need on how to navigate the situation and what's in your highest good. So before I go into that, let's just get you some animal oracle cards to see what Spirit wants to say to you. All right, can we just leave pile number 3 off with some guidance in regards to this connection? Anything else, or whatever they need to hear, please. We have this and that are true. We have believe in yourself. Yeah, we have freedom is yours and time to let go. So I feel like there is a message here of how it's important for you to fully recognize your own worth. I feel like it's time for you to shine. I feel like it's time for you to see just how clear the path is for you to achieve success in your own right, and how you deserve to truly be seen and recognized for all that you are. And yeah, freedom is yours. You're being called to really understand that if you want to get out of this situation, the path is clear if you want it to be. And with time to let go, I feel like Spirit's saying, like, if this has been something that's been difficult for you, Spirit's saying it is time to let go of it. And then I want to see if with this or this and that are true. Yeah, and so I feel like this is sort of what can happen with your person. I feel like your person can get caught up in this energy. So it says, when you most want to be acknowledged as right and see other ways as wrong, Dolphin Spirit appears as the reminder that the story of your suffering and righteousness is a little more complicated than you're admitting right now. Do you want to see things in black and white and be rigid in your ideas of what's correct and what's not? Release your rigidity and embrace the fluidity of life as you recognize the grays that remind you there are two sides to every story, an upside and a downside, and a blessing in every challenge. What you think is wrong may end up being right for you, so soften your heart so that you make the best decision at this time, playing with the possibilities as they present themselves. And I feel like your person may have a hard time seeing the grays, and I feel like if your truth isn't going to be acknowledged, then it's important that you free yourself and believe in your side, and you advocate for your side of things. Yeah, any other guidance for pile number 3? Yeah, it's your light. It's time to follow and believe in yourself more and to give yourself more credit. Your role isn't meant to be someone else's teacher or someone else's support. It's like you're meant to follow your own path. We have the one who needs control. What guidance do we have? We have good things. We have left out with the wolves and then broken and cracked. Yeah, suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is to not be afraid of, I just feel like Spirit's saying that something has been building up for a while now, and sometimes only through cracking, and I just feel like it's time for you to leave whatever comfort zone this is, see it for what it is, and recognize that you're actually a lot more capable, and like you don't need other people as much as they need you. So any situation that doesn't recognize that or isn't beneficial, not like beneficial, but isn't supportive, it's like you don't need to control other people, and other people may feel the need to control you because they see you as such a good thing. So I just feel like it's time to see like the truth of your value and understand that like if you're in, sometimes being in a relationship or in a community, in a certain situation, like sometimes we can choose that just so we're not alone, or just so we don't have to do it ourselves, or there might be a fear of doing things yourself. But I feel like this realization is really about recognizing that if the environments you are in may be familiar, but if they are not supportive or actually can even be harmful to you, you might be better off out left with the wolves. It's about seeing how little of your struggle has to do with yourself and how much more other people need you. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of doing things on your own, and understand that you have a light that I feel like a lot of people might want to control or grab at. So yeah, I'm going to leave that with you, but we'll get some more answers in the extended if you want to join me there. If you guys found this reading helpful or interesting, if you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment. Thank you to everyone who does that. I sincerely appreciate it. And if you want to see future pick a card readings, I would love for you to subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope to connect with you again soon.